customers and a 100% money-back guarantee, it's the gift you can feel good about giving. This year, give yourself and everyone on your list the gift of better sleep, less stress, and pain relief with CBD from CB Distillery. And right now, you can save 25% on your entire purchase with promo code HEALTH. Visit cbdistillery.com and enter code HEALTH. That's cbdistillery.com. cbdistillery.com. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations.
Wolves fans, it's time to get your tickets to Timberwolves basketball. From Anthony Edwards doing Anthony Edwards things, to Naz Reid getting the whole arena chanting his name, to Jaden McDaniels putting clamps on anyone in front of him, this is the show you want to see. Add in rivalry nights, theme nights, and giveaways fans line up early for, and every game is a night to remember. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets now at Timberwolves.com. That's Timberwolves.com. Don't miss a shot, block, or fast break of Timberwolves basketball.
Hey, Santa, we're having trouble wrapping stuff here. Lots of wishes for wellness coaches, trainers. How do we wrap a pickleball court? Hey, get that personal trainer back in the box.
What if we just got everyone memberships to the YMCA of the North?
Well, the YMCA of the North does have all the stuff people want.
Ho, then it's settled. Everyone should join the YMCA of the North Pole.
Just North. YMCA of the North.
Members get access to 20 locations. Learn more at ymcanorth.org.
Hey there, I'm Jenna. I'm a comedian, I'm a mom, and I'm also your host of The Ripple Effect with Jenna Kim Jones. This is a show about how tiny acts of goodness turn into big, life-changing waves. It's the perfect weekly proof that goodness, it's not gone. The Ripple Effect, it's more than a podcast. It's a reminder that you can start a ripple that changes everything. Listen to The Ripple Effect with Jenna Kim Jones on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
818 KFYR 550. Clay Peterson, Merry Christmas Eve.
Yeah, early Merry Christmas.
I don't know if
right?
I said enough Eves or too many. Merry week before day we take everything back.
Yeah.
Isn't it Boxing Day in Canada? I'm trying to remember.
Could be. I have no clue. If it's
that was
related. I'm just a vast.
We decided to
there.
do it on Christmas. We put the gloves on. Yeah, it is Boxing Day in Canada. Sorry, Canadians. I'm still getting acquainted with. You guys go metric, but you still have 110 yards on your CFL field. So I'm trying to figure that part out too.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. The 50, the 55. Well, they actually have a 55-yard line there. So.
Oh, well, so yeah, they're still doing that. Well, go figure. Canadians, right?
Never quite understood that. But yeah, Boxing Day, we always just did it right on Christmas and put the gloves on and went for it. So
perfect.
I'm sure there are some people that are listening right now going, boxing? What is Boxing Day?
I had no clue till you just mentioned it. Never had heard of it.
A day for the wealthy to give Christmas boxes with gifts, money, or leftovers to servants, tradespeople, and the poor who traditionally worked on Christmas Day.
There we go. Now we know. The more you know.
So, yeah, I know, right? I don't know if that knowledge is really going to help you in life, but, if it does, great, good for you.
Well, maybe it'll motivate somebody to go out and spread a little Christmas cheer and give them God's word and why we're celebrating it, and give them a little gift. Someone that can't, maybe they can't afford a meal, maybe they can't afford a gift. So maybe it'll motivate them to go do it. That'd be a great thing.
At least now they know it's got nothing to do with boxing gloves and rings and punching. So if we move the needle far enough to get away from that, then it's a moral victory again. Clay Peterson, Guns of the 701 shootings once again caused Democrats to blame gun owners, calling for more restriction. I thought, but hold on a second. I thought Democrats blame guns.
Yeah, well, they love to blame the gun, but their goal is to go after a law-abiding citizen. I mean,
true.
It's always the answer. It's never the answer in the real world, but to them, it's about control. I mean, you look back we'll just go to 1968 when the Gun Control Act passed. I mean, let's look at that. It was a piece of legislation that masked the whole idea of the end goal, which is to disarm us as a populace. The Democrat Party has even went farther left on that. And you got, Adam Schiff. Oh, we know that guy's sane, don't we? California, that idiot. And Blumenthal, who's a long-time Second Amendment prohibitionist. They're out there now trying to close. They always come up with names. The gun show loophole, the Charleston loophole. Now that's what they're focusing on, which is no check, no sale. Well, some people would think, oh, wow, that's great, right? Oh, my goodness, if you don't get a background check, you shouldn't have a gun. Well, it's not true. And in the current system, the NICS system, which is the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, for those of you that don't know, so if you were in that system, you went to purchase your firearm in the, quote, unregulated firearm industry, as they always like to say. I don't know too many other things. You have to fill out an actual form, a pretty lengthy one really anymore. Give all your personal information, your social security number, your race, your sex. I'm talking all the way up and down the gamut.
They have more than 2 boxes on the sex part, right? Because
I think they did change that, unfortunately. But we all know there's only 2.
Sorry.
See, I'm not afraid to say there's only a man and a woman. Period. If you don't,
I know.
too bad.
I'm of that ilk as well, but.
But
anyway, if you want to identify as a cat and go in a box, I just don't do it around me. That's all I ask.
There you go.
Or
kids.
Well,
if you want to act like a cat, I'll throw you in the barn. You can eat cat food and hunt mice. But anyway, join the rest of them. Oh, we go everywhere.
Love it.
Show, don't we? But
love it.
So anyway, they're trying to say there's this big loophole, and when you're in that system and they do your background check after you filled out all the paperwork, you found an FFL dealer, guess what? They want to make if it's past, I think it's 3 days, and if you're under 21, it's 10. Then if there's no response from the system, they are a proceed. That's what it is. It's proceed, delay, or deny is pretty much the 3 categories that an FFL dealer will get from the NICS system. Then it's a proceed, and you can take your lawfully purchased firearm home. Well, they're saying nope, can't do that. The bill wants to eliminate that default safeguard, which that was put in there when this was passed to basically make sure that government does their job in an efficient manner. I mean, we do know that if they're not forced to do something fast and quickly and efficiently, they're not going to do it, right? Well, this bill would remove that. And in my opinion, I read the whole article as to why and what they were going to do. But in my opinion, this creates a de facto red flag law, which you all know that's basically getting rid of due process. It's denying and delaying you, assuming you're guilty just because somebody said so. Well, that's what this does. If the government doesn't fulfill the ATF, the Department of Justice doesn't fulfill the background check within a timely manner, well, Adam Schiff and Richard Blumenthal think, oh, you don't get your gun until they get good and ready to actually check you out. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, right now things look rosy with the current administration as far as Second Amendment issues. But I can imagine that if you had a Democrat president with a Democrat administration, a House and a Senate, there'd be no way to stop this. And they would just say, oh, we just haven't gotten it to it. And you might never pass the background check. I could really see them using that because they've proven that they will weaponize every department that's under their control. So I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's got any chance of passing. And when you kind of look at the 2024 data, there are only 2,758 guns that basically went through this process, came back, passed the 3 days, the business days, and then they were transferred. Out of 13 million background checks, only 2,758 were sold that way. And then later, supposedly, they were determined to be prohibited purchasers. So that's not a failure on us. That's a failure on the Department of Justice and the background check system in whole. I don't think this thing's going to pass. There is a House companion bill. James Clyburn, no shocker there, a Democrat from South Carolina, pushed for this. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's dead on arrival. We shall see, but I thought it would be a great thing to let people know that this is the reaction of the Democrat Party as a whole. I bet you every Democrat will vote for this pretty much. They don't blame the gun. They blame the law-abiding citizen. I mean, let's face it. Most of these guys don't go buy their gun from their local FFL. they go buy it somewhere else or they steal it. I mean, look at all the happy endings we do on this show and on our own show. Most of the time, those guns, there's something that someone took from somebody. They don't go through a background check.
Yeah. You outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. Thank God for the National Gun Association.
Yeah.
Let's face it, your kids are going to get into your guns. That's a fact. Gun accidents can be avoided by introducing your children to guns as early as possible.
Hi, I'm Petey the Pistol. Say, do you ever get lonely?
Yes.
Me too. Hold me. If you squeeze me, I make bad people go away.
But wait a minute. I thought guns were bad. False. Guns are good. In fact, did you know that Jesus and Moses used guns to conquer the Romans? So remember, guns don't kill people. Dangerous minorities do. Warning, guns are extremely dangerous. Do not purchase, own, clean, operate,
I think it's terrible the government puts that out, don't you? I mean,
oh, my goodness. I knew that was coming.
Sorry.
Before everybody gets their underwear in a bunch, don't worry. All in fun.
I think everybody should start calling their pistols Petey.
Pistol Petey. Wow, there we go.
Hey, get Petey. We got somebody in the backyard. I got to go on down.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got Petey here with me. You better not do that. Better not break into my car, or Petey's going to have something to say about it.
Hey, I was with Christmas coming. I think the best gift that anybody can get someone in their family is a new firearm. Exercise your Second Amendment. There's my PSA today. Go out and support your Second Amendment. Give a firearm for Christmas.
Yeah, but according to that movie, you might lose an eye.
Oh, those Christmas stories. That's a timeless classic, isn't it?
We can't get I've got a lamp, leg lamp. I can't get the darn thing on.
Really?
I was going to put it in the window because my wife's got a desk, the old wooden desk that's sitting right by our big living room window, and I was going to put that there, but it doesn't do any good if you can't get it turned on.
Yeah, man, you got to get that going.
I need a new leg for Christmas.
It's a major award, fragile.
Exactly. When we come back, Wyoming, and we will have a happy ending, and handguns still remain primary self-defense firearm even against terrorists. Yes, we need Petey.
KFYR 550. Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We will break down the absolute latest in the ongoing battle over affordability in the economy as we roll into the Christmas season. And again, a little bit of festive cheer as we take you into the Christmas holiday. Be the Friday edition, the final Clay and Buck show, hosted by either of us before Christmas season. See you all then.
This morning at 11 on KFYR.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today we can expect cloudy skies with windy conditions and a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, making untreated surfaces slippery. Temperatures will reach a high of 33 degrees. Tonight will be breezy early on, but then clearing up with a low of 14. Tomorrow is set to be mostly sunny, breezy, and colder with a high of 20. Looking ahead to Sunday, expect mostly cloudy conditions with a high of 34. Monday will see clouds clearing up, leading to a high of 36. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Right now, it's 11.
It's Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550.
While lower fuel prices may sound good for consumers, they've been tough on producers and grain markets. And in about a month, it'll be time to go to feedlot school. Todd Mitchell and for Shannon Dean on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report.
This holiday season, all of us at Piper's Auctioneers want to say thank you to all of those who entrusted Piper's Auction Realty and Land Management to sell and manage their most precious agricultural assets. And a grateful thank you to the bidders and buyers and tenants who showed up and supported our auctions throughout the year. As we look ahead to 2026, we invite you to join Piper's Auctioneers for any one of our upcoming land and equipment auctions throughout the Upper Midwest. From our Piper's family to yours, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Energy markets been under pressure this month, and while lower fuel prices may sound good for consumers, they've been tough on producers and grain markets. But with signs of the slide ending, it may be time to brace for higher costs and watch for a rebound in row crops. Crude oil recently fell to its lowest level since early 2021, with gasoline and diesel following suit. Analysts say the drop is fueled by optimism over a possible end to the war in Ukraine, a scenario that looks increasingly unlikely. Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated this week that fighting will continue until disputed territory is taken, and tensions with the U.S. are rising over both Ukraine and Venezuela. The U.S. has now set up a blockade to monitor tankers near Venezuela, putting nearly 600,000 barrels per day of exports at risk. That, combined with falling inventories and OPEC Plus holding production steady, suggests downside risk may be limited from here. For farmers, one strategy could be keeping tanks full when crude dips near 55 a barrel. With this year's high at 78, a bounce in energy could also help lift grain and oilseed markets. And NDSU's Carrington Research Extension Center will host its annual Feedlot School January 21st and 22nd, two-day program designed for cattle producers, feeders, backgrounders, and anyone interested in feedlot production, nutrition, waste management, and marketing. NDSU Extension Livestock Systems Specialist Carl Hoppe said cattle feeding is a competitive business. Profitability comes from doing many things right, not just one thing better. Topics will range from facility design and ration formulation to animal health, financing, and marketing strategies. The school also includes tours of a commercial feedlot and the Carrington Center's livestock facilities. Deadline to sign up January 5th. Find out more at ndsu.ag/CREC Feedlot 26. Warmer day today. Another Clippers system will impact northern parts of the region with gusty winds and light mixed precipitation. The weekend expected to be mostly dry and a warmer start to next week. In for Shannon Dean, I'm Todd Mitchell with your Dakota Farm and Ranch Report.
KFYR, your ag authority.
This winter, the world will be watching the best skaters chase their Olympic dreams. For your child, that dream could start right here at your local rink. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build strength, confidence, and courage, the same qualities that take athletes to the Olympic ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. This is where the journey begins. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com, because every champion starts with a first glide.
Get rewarded just for shopping with Simon Plus. That means when you get your gifts at Simon Malls, premium outlets, and on shopsimon.com this season, you can get cash back at your favorite stores, access to exclusive offers, and exciting surprises. Join today at simonplus.com. Participation and benefits subject to rewards program terms. See simonplus.com for details.
KFYR.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. A homeless man named John unravels the mystery with a suspect in both the Brown University shootings and the MIT professor's murder found dead of suicide in a New Hampshire storage facility as police closed in. Once they knew his name, his rental car was hard to track.
We got a Maine plate and we got a Florida plate on the same car in New Hampshire.
Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Narantha, but the homeless former Brown student had confronted the suspect casing the building and posted his rental car info on Reddit. Then informed police. The suspect went to school with the MIT professor and once attended Brown. Country music star Jelly Roll has been pardoned for past felony cocaine possession by Tennessee Governor Bill Lee. Jason DeFord changed his life and used his musical fame as Jelly Roll to fight the heartbreak of fentanyl. Governor Lee calls his story remarkable, redemptive, and powerful. America's listening to Fox News.
And now from North Dakota's News Authority, Todd Mitchell, KFYR Radio News.
8:35, another Clippers system impacting northern parts of the region today. Gusty winds, light mixed precipitation. Winter weather advisory till noon in the northwestern part of the state, till 2 in the north central, and off to the northeast. It'll start about 10 o'clock, go till about 6 o'clock tonight. Bismarck, nope. Slippery roads, though. A little icy mix and a little windy. 33 today. Breezy tonight, 14. Sunny, breezy, 20 tomorrow. 34 Sunday, 36. Monday, Governor Kelly Armstrong will join state lawmakers and Tax Commissioner Brian Crossius at the Capitol today to highlight the impacts of the significant property tax relief being provided by the $1,600 primary residence credit approved last spring, while also addressing the need to increase participation in the credit and grow it in future legislative sessions to eliminate property taxes for even more households. Under state law, counties have till December 26th to mail out property tax statements. House Bill 1176, which was passed by lawmakers and signed by the governor last May, more than tripled the state's existing primary residence credit from $500 a year to $1,600. North Dakota Supreme Court considering a lawsuit regarding the Dakota Access Pipeline. In a court appearance yesterday, Energy Transfer asked the justices to stop a countersuit by Amsterdam-based Greenpeace, who is being accused of conspiring to stop the pipeline from being built, has been since it was being built. 3 Greenpeace defendants, meanwhile, deny the allegations and filed a countersuit in a Dutch court in February, calling the accusations frivolous. The Dakota Access Pipeline's been carrying crude since 2017. Burley Morton County Detention Center will provide 120 beds to the North Dakota prison system. Department of Corrections agreed to a deal at a rate of $105 per day, $10 less than the rate for other counties. It'll help address overcrowding in the state prison system. The area had been used by the state before, but had to be shut down due to a lack of staffing. And prosecutors asking for sentence transparency after several criminals have been released from prison early. An assistant state's attorney said it's not about longer sentences, it's about making sure offenders serve the time. State lawmakers voted against a truth in sentencing law last year. Many crimes have minimum mandatory sentences, but offenders are being released early after serving only a fraction of that. KFYR Radio News Time, 8:38.
Out here, every acre counts.
Did you know you can opt out of winter? With Vrbo, save up to $1,500 for booking a month-long stay. With thousands of sunny homes, why subject yourself to the cold? Just filter your search by monthly stays and save up to $1,500. Book now at Vrbo.com.
This winter, the world will be watching the best skaters chase their Olympic dreams. For your child, that dream could start right here at your local rink. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build strength, confidence, and courage, the same qualities that take athletes to the Olympic ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. This is where the journey begins. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com, because every champion starts with a first glide.
Get rewarded just for shopping with Simon Plus. That means when you get your gifts at Simon Malls, premium outlets, and on shopsimon.com this season, you can get cash back at your favorite stores, access to exclusive offers, and exciting surprises. Join today at simonplus.com. Participation and benefits subject to rewards program terms. See simonplus.com for details.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today we can expect cloudy skies with windy conditions and a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, making untreated surfaces slippery. Temperatures will reach a high of 33 degrees. Tonight will be breezy early on, but then clearing up with a low of 14. Tomorrow is set to be mostly sunny, breezy, and colder with a high of 20. Looking ahead to Sunday, expect mostly cloudy conditions with a high of 34. Monday we'll see clouds clearing up, leading to a high of 36. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
12 in Bismarck right now on KFYR 550, 840. More with Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701 coming up.
Wolves fans, it's time to get your tickets to Timberwolves basketball. From Anthony Edwards doing Anthony Edwards things, to Naz Reid getting the whole arena chanting his name, to Jaden McDaniels putting clamps on anyone in front of him, this is the show you want to see. Add in rivalry nights, theme nights, and giveaways fans line up early for, and every game is a night to remember. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets now at Timberwolves.com. That's Timberwolves.com. Don't miss a shot, block, or fast break of Timberwolves basketball.
Too much on your list this season? Get 50% off your first 6 months of payroll at gusto.com/smallbusiness. Gusto saves you 2 days every month on payroll, taxes, and compliance. So you can go from making payroll to making gingerbread houses, checking your books to decking the halls, spreadsheets to snow angels. Switch before the end of the year and there's no need to transfer payroll history. Now that's a reason to be merry. Choose a future with Gusto and get more time for what matters. For a limited time, get 50% off your first 6 months at gusto.com/smallbusiness.
Holidays are hectic. Between family drama, last-minute shopping, and late nights, it can feel like an endurance test. That's why CB Distillery has your ultimate holiday survival plan. Everything you need for a merry holiday is here. You can stuff their stockings with CBD for better sleep, or gift your fitness friends with a pain stick for post-workout pain. Oh, and don't forget to grab a little holiday calm for yourself. Every CB Distillery product is made with premium quality, clean ingredients. No fillers or anything artificial. And with over 2 million customers and a 100% money-back guarantee, it's the gift you can feel good about giving. This year, give yourself and everyone on your list the gift of better sleep, less stress, and pain relief with CBD from CB Distillery. And right now, you can save 25% on your entire purchase with promo code HEALTH. Visit cbdistillery.com and enter code HEALTH. That's cbdistillery.com. cbdistillery.com. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T. Or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric root score report dated 1/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days and same name as person redeeming deal. Additional terms apply.
With new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. So after a long day, buy a double cheeseburger and add a McChicken for $1. Because saving with deals is always on the menu with new McValue.
Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Hey, Santa, we're having trouble wrapping stuff here. Lots of wishes for wellness coaches, trainers. How do we wrap a pickleball court? Hey, get that personal trainer back in the box.
What if we just got everyone memberships to the YMCA of the North?
Well, the YMCA of the North does have all the stuff people want.
Ho, then it's settled. Everyone should join the YMCA of the North Pole.
Just North. YMCA of the North.
Members get access to 20 locations. Learn more at ymcanorth.org.
The holiday hustle is real. The traffic, the crowds, the never-ending to-do list.
And nowhere to park. Perfect.
That's why drivers use ParkWiz. They already save up to 50% when they book ahead. This holiday season, use promo code JINGLE10 in the ParkWiz app for an extra 10% off your next reservation. Because during the holidays, every minute and every dollar counts. ParkWiz. Less circling, more celebrating. Download the ParkWiz app and use code JINGLE10 to save an extra 10% today. Offer valid through December 31st. App reservations only. Limit 1 per user.
This season, everyone's talking about what they deliver. Packages, presents, good cheer. At Postman Law, we deliver something bigger. Over $3 billion in verdicts and settlements for clients. A team that's won before the Supreme Court, and results that change what's possible for families after an accident. We'll let Santa deliver the gifts. Postman Law delivers the results you deserve. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com.
Attorney advertising.
KFYR at 843 Guns in the 701, Clay Peterson, waiting patiently to get on and talk about Wyoming. Not the 144 mile an hour winds they had over there. Nothing like having a hurricane in Wyoming. Good grief.
Definitely not hunting weather. If you can make that shot on a crosswind, you are the man.
I was just about to ask you what effect that has if it's, you know.
Oh my goodness.
What if it's behind you? Does it help you then, or?
Well, it could cause lift. It can do a lot of that kind of wind. Just don't try it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's my advice.
Yeah, certainly if it's blowing into your face,
you know,
that would be terrible.
You got like a 55 millimeter cannon or maybe a 76 millimeter. Yeah, no, you ain't going to do it. It's going to be pretty tough. But hey, I bet you someone will try it.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
But yeah, so Wyoming, and I brought this one to you because, well, it's neighboring us. There's been tons of discussion over private property rights in North Dakota and private land versus hunting. I mean, this is an issue that could affect North Dakota possibly at some point. I don't know, but and then I went and looked at the bill. So the article was written in the idea that, you know, landowner evil, don't want to do this, we won't be able to hunt, blah, 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 all the myths. And it's draft bill 26 LSO Facist-Book-0212 if anyone wants to look it up. And it was brought by a state senator. Well, it'll essentially allow the landowner to take their landowner tag and be able to transfer it to pretty much anybody. And what that means is they'd probably be able to sell it. I mean, plain and simple, that's what it would do. It would allow them to sell it if they'd like to. And, of course, all of the normal groups that come out and fight property rights right here in North Dakota, same groups, just in a different state, they're just saying, oh, it's gonna take away all the public hunting, it's going to take away tags from the residents. Not necessarily. And from what I went and looked at this, just to see exactly what was going on here. So in Wyoming, according to their law, landowners qualify for no more than 2 hunting licenses per the species. So each hunting season for each species, which is not unlike here. Every resident gets a gratis tag right now, except an antelope, because Senator Clearly and the backcountry hunters destroyed that with the 50% rule, but we won't go into that. And they'll be able to
You
do
already
this
did.
Yeah, we already did. I had to call it out. I don't care. They can beat me up some more on that.
But we won't talk about that. Oh, okay. Well, you just talked about it, but anyway.
But, so anyway, the landowners will be able to get this if this passes, but they're only allowed to get 2. By the way, they have to buy their landowner tag. I did go look into that. If you read the article, it's not written that way. And that doesn't surprise me coming from an entity like Field and Stream. They do lean the other way on this big time. I got mixed reservations. I will say that. I don't know if I want to myself see that, but it is not the evil thing that's made out in here. So I could see some room for that. I've always wondered why a guy can't take that one tag and essentially transfer it to anybody. Maybe that's what we look at here, is if maybe if the landowner purchases his gratis tag, then can he do that? I don't know. I mean, you want to start bridging that gap between a landowner and a hunter, this might be an avenue, but I imagine it would be met with huge pushback, especially in North Dakota. In Wyoming, this has a chance. New Mexico has something similar. A lot of other states have this kind of system where they can take that tag and do as they wish. And, I guess when you look at private property and they own it, and Wyoming's got a ton of public access land. It isn't like here in North Dakota where it's 93% privately owned. So if you own private property, you get to choose. It is a privilege to hunt private property if you don't own any. Maybe that's a way to bridge it. Maybe you'd be able to transfer that to anybody. Right now, we can transfer it to our immediate family members, our wives or our husbands or our children, however you want to look at that, but immediate family members can do it. It also has a requirement in here that you have to be actively engaged in farming and ranching. That's the only way you can get that landowner tag in Wyoming. So I just thought it was an interesting thing that people needed to look at. Again, that bill is 26 LSO 0212. You should go look at that up if anybody's interested and actually read it. It's a simple bill. It's basically 3 pages and, has a bunch of stuff on there that already exists. And they only made basically 3 different changes within this bill to allow them to qualify, to get the hunting license, and then they'd be eligible to actually transfer that to anybody. And I imagine what would happen is a lot of them would sell it. It doesn't bar it, so I imagine that's what they do. But the landowner could actually transfer that to anybody. And there's a lot of fee hunting operations out there that are successful. They do it right. They manage their land and probably do more for wildlife than anybody in there. And maybe an amendment to this would be that the landowners might entertain and be for is to actually do something on their personal property. They have to take a portion of that money if they get it from the tag and do something on their own land. We don't need government intervention, but the landowner himself would be required to do that, and then it'd be checked up on to make sure that he did the actual amount to the project. Maybe that's one way they do it. I don't know. But I thought it was a great article as far as bringing light to landowner and property rights and hunting. And I encourage everybody to go check this out and actually read it for yourself.
849, 850 now at KFYR. Pat Finken here, busy distracting me, so I can't focus on the show. Sorry. It's his job in life. Handguns, PD pistol still remains your primary defense, self-defense firearm. Well, yeah, and good grief, why not?
Well, and I've seen this, and I thought this guy made a great point with what happened over at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. And then he actually outlined 10 other things. What he was saying is look what happened over there. You had two people that actually went in, and they were using handguns and rifles, from what I understand. The rifles were the primary, and then the guy got a hold of the handgun after a citizen jumped in when the cops failed to actually do anything, stood by, and I guess we're going to let it happen until someone did something, and it was a civilian. He tackled and disarmed one of these two Muslim killers, because that's what they were, and essentially held him there. But then the cops shot him because he took the long gun away, and that was the whole point. He goes, your best defense is probably a handgun. And I would agree with that. Handgun's easily concealable. You're definitely not going to probably carry your long gun around, even if you're carrying concealed over here. It's just not practical to carry it. And, I've slung one over my arm and done it because you can, but it's just not practical. My preference is always going to be a handgun. And handguns do work. If you read the article, you notice that after that happened, there was actually a deputy, or a detective, I guess is what he was over there. He arrived on the scene, he drew his pistol, and he was able to shoot both of these assailants. Of course, one died, and the other, had another happy ending right there. One got ventilated, the other one went to the hospital. But a pistol did it. And he was at 40 meters. Everything's metric over there. Talk about metrics in Canada. Well, they got it over there, too. and basically was able to neutralize them.
We're kind of the last bastion holding out on inches and feet and yards and stuff, but
yeah,
whatever.
I imagine it's never going to change, because I can tell you what 100 yards looks like. You start talking meters, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to convert that in my head. I know what 100 yards looks like. 300 yards. Yeah.
They made Canadians do it. If you were growing up in Canada, you had to do it.
There you go.
Back in the 70s. Anyway, getting close on time here. I guess I shouldn't waste it.
Well, I'll kind of give it. There was 10 instances where a terrorist or an assailant, a killer, a bad guy with a gun was neutralized and or killed and taken out by somebody that had a pistol. And it's still your best line of defense. I can tell you right now, in all the self-defense stuff I've ever been part of, ever been trained in, the idea isn't really to kill somebody. The idea is to neutralize it and defend yourself, which sometimes results in that because there's no other way. I mean, I don't know about you, Todd, but I don't inherently want to go out there and shoot people. I don't think any of us do. But if we're pressed, we're going to do it, and we are going to eliminate the threat.
You need to neutralize the threat, and if it needs to come down to doing that to do it, I'm sorry, but that's a decision you made by being the threat. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. But anyway.
Absolutely.
Not you specifically, but... And one last happy ending chronicle of 2025.
Yeah, there we go. The Anglo-Rajon Murphy, 29. Get this. Here we go. I got a guy trying to take a hammer to a knife fight, or to a gunfight again. He forced his way into this lady's home. She already had a restraining and a protection order against him. He said, nope, I'm going to ignore that. Goes in there with a hammer and a knife. The gal, and she must have had a friend with her, the way it looks like. They barricaded themselves into a room. He continued, when I looked at some of the local stuff, he continued to take that hammer and try to bust the door open. Well, they retrieved their Second Amendment dutiful weapon, I guess is for lack of a better term, and ventilated the guy. He did die from his injuries, and he had a rap sheet. I mean, this guy, and he had just been released on bond 15 days prior to this for assault, and kidnapping. So this guy was not a good guy. He didn't learn anything. The rap sheet on him is a mile long for a lot of different infringements. And you know what? This gal's going to be around to celebrate Christmas and New Year's with her family. And she did the right thing, and that's our happy ending chronicle for the 2025 year. We're all done with those.
Well,
sweet.
Clay, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Todd, and to everybody, and God's blessings. Remember, that's why we celebrate this. And I'll tell you what, we'd be in a world of hurt if we didn't have the birth of Jesus. So just remember why you're celebrating Christmas, but again, celebrate it with friends and family and just have a great time as well.
There we have it. All right. Well, you take care. Right. Talk to you next year.
Yep, talk to you next year.
That's what you're supposed to tell everybody, and you're not going to talk to them again until the next year. So.
Yep, be a year away, right? Okay. Have a good one, Todd.
You too.
By
Take
the way,
care.
Everybody, tune in. Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, coming up this evening, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 Central. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be another great show from him.
All right. Oh, they're all great shows from him.
Yeah, all right. Catch you later.